civil leadership and public-private partnership driving 2 generations of regional transformation. Today, we're on the eve of Our Next 75, and we're inviting today's and tomorrow's leaders to gather for a future-focused summit, June 27th in downtown Pittsburgh. It's free, but you do have to register to get an invitation. Visit ournext75.org to find out more. Our Next 75 is an initiative of the Allegheny Conference. ournext75.org. Party the midnight summer away with fairies, druids, and all things mystical at the Mattress Factory's 2019 Urban Garden Party, Solstice, on Friday, June 21st. Feast and imbibe with some of the city's best restaurants and bars. Hit the dance floor with music by Beauty Slap, Bad Custer, and DJ Samuel Andres, and bid on one-of-a-kind works at the art auction. Tickets are on sale now at mattress.org.
All right, you're asking for it, so here it is.
Epicast.
Listen to this.
I want you fucking laughing at. We partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, singing, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
Got your energy up? All right, because we're going to give you about 20 solid minutes of being energetic, then the itis going to kick in, and then it's all on you, John. It's all up to you.
I got it.
Here we go. All right. Welcome to the 214th episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this is our Ernie Banks episode. Yeah, Hall of Fame Cub player. He's Mr. Cub, all right? And he actually starred in the Negro Leagues with the Kansas City Monarchs alongside, you know what I'm saying, Jackie Robinson and such. So shout out to him for taking it from one league and then being a Hall of Famer in another league, and that's what we're doing. We're going local to national. You know what I mean? We're a local cast. Now we got the national festival. So that's what we try to do here. I'm happy to hosting tandem Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play,
Googleable,
and Spotify under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. 214 episodes, man. We've been asking you, and we will continue to ask you, man, please hop on iTunes, rate and review. That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well, man. So please hop on iTunes, rate and review.
Look, you love us. You tell us you love us when you see us in public. Now we need you to go to the internet, click a button, and tell the world, all right? Tell everybody you see, tell everyone who logs on, tell everybody who goes to iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Facebook, all that shit, man. We need people to know that this is the thing that you need to listen to. And as always, all right, 213 times we said it.
Yeah.
This will be the 214th time we said it. In lieu of rates and reviews, we do accept shots of Hennessy, okay? We will accept that, as love. All right. Shout out to Car Guy DJ and the Conways for starting the trend. Shout out to everybody who's ever supported, who's kept the trend going, kept it alive, who's given us shots of Hennessy, who's bought us beers, who's just showed us mad love. Man.
Yeah.
We get mad love.
It's been dope. Shout out to the folks coming to the shows. Last night was dope. We had Mike James on.
Mike James out of Nashville, Cashville, Tennessee.
Killing it, I mean, and if you're looking for us, you can find us, June 15th, we'll be down at Arcade Comedy Theater with some of them DC boys, coming in. I don't know if you was at the last DC arcade, but we're going to keep that train going, so come through arcadecomedytheater.com for that.
And then June 20th, back at Apis.
Hurry up and say something
funny. The Crowd Work Show, all right? So it's your opportunity to let the motherfuckers know how you feel, how you really feel about what they doing. Heckling is encouraged.
Yeah.
Bitch assness is discouraged. All right, come there and say what you got to say. Give us some ammunition. It's all love, though. I mean, you heckle, but it's all love.
Yeah. I mean, tell us we shit, we will clap back, man. It's just so just back. Make it.
We gonna clap back.
just know. Back. And as always, the mead is going to be flowing, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. That's that beautiful, beautiful bee sex over there. I mean, with the honey and the wine and whatnot. That's and it tastes just about like anything. This motherfucker got peanut butter and jelly dips, some whatever
is labeled. That's what you gonna
the
taste.
Blueberry chai, the hot passion fruit, like that shit. Man, it's my favorite stage. Like in the area, it's pretty dope, laid back environment. So come through. Dom Shuck always curating that event. Epicast Network sponsoring and whatnot. And then Comtra Theater,
June 29th.
Yeah.
We got John Dick Winters headlining. It will be the last show of the Mindful Brewery. Damn, episode 2 of 2. Mindful Brewery residency as far as sponsoring our shows. It would be their last one of their round. So Comtra Theater, we got John Dick Winters headlining again as always. BYOB and free craft beer samples. By samples, we mean full cups of craft beer. That's and ampersand in addition to as well as. So bring some, and then we'll bring some, and we'll do a match. All right? Enjoy your fucking self.
Every Drinking Partners Epic Night of Comedy show has free craft beer and BYOB. Remember that, man.
And
whether it's the third Saturday or the
last
Saturday, it's free craft beer and BYOB on top of some of the best comedy in the city, man.
We can't put drinking in our names if you don't drink.
Come on, man. That's false advertisement, man. But it's not false advertisement. August 10th, Nova Place, Pittsburgh, PA, man. Come through. First and only Black Beer Festival in America, man. We got 45 local craft brewers paired up with 45 local Black artists, entrepreneurs, politicians. We got Nappy Roots pairing up with dancing.
Oh, no. Hell no.
You know what I mean? And they headlining the festival. We got Garrett Oliver coming through with the VIP. We got 30 Black brewers coming in from all around the country because representation matters, man. And we got about 75 vendors, 20 Black food vendors alone on top of, we got 15 artists, live painting, 6 musicians, live bands, mad diverse, and then we got 4 DJs.
Come to Fresh Fest. It's a carnival of swag. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all it is. It's a good time. If you were there last year, you already know what it is. If you weren't there last year, you missed out, but we gave you another opportunity. Now, if you missed 2 years in a row, I don't know. Then we go out to start carding you and see, it's Fresh Fest in your DNA because, we can't just be letting all the new motherfuckers in.
Man, 3,000 people, man. Get those tickets. We're pimping out the whole mall. We're throwing a mall party, man. I feel like I'm 15 again. Just like, just like, meet your friends down at the mall, Allegheny Commons. We opening it back up, man.
Mall party.
Only this time we bringing craft beer, man. Some of the best and some of the blackest. Tickets, freshfestbeerfest.com. 202.
202. Yeah, y'all understand, man. It's hard to get through those announcements early on the second episode. I'm still eating from the first episode.
This motherfucker still got a brontosaur leg.
Yeah, I still got it, but I'm still thirsty, and that leads us into our guest because I'm thirsty, and he's got a nice looking spread over here. We're excited because this will be my first time tasting, this beer, so I'm super excited. I'm going to pair it with some good food. We got John Lasher here from Cellar Brewery. Say what up to the people.
What's happening, guys?
Oh, like that. Very short, concise, confident. Confidence in is what's going on.
Gotta be.
It's very casual, but I like it. It's happening.
It was very khaki.
Well,
he doesn't have no khakis.
We are very excited to be here. So
we're excited to have you here, man. We've heard nothing but good things. I've tasted nothing but good things on the few taps that I've had. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's just get into it first. What is the first thing that we're drinking? Tell us a bit about that, and then tell us a bit about you and Cellar Works.
Okay, well, let me see. I think we should probably start out with the wild beer. This is
the Wildling.
Oh,
yeah. It was Game of Thrones-ish.
North of the wall.
Yeah.
He's got the Wildling beer to start us off.
So I've got this American wild ale. It's called St. Eldritch. It's an American double style ale that we aged in Cabernet Sauvignon barrels.
What's a double style?
A double style is
like the DUBBEL.
Yeah. Sometimes people pronounce it Dubel or Dubel.
I've never. It's like Dubois or Dubois.
Dubois. Yeah,
or North Versailles or North Versailles.
Yeah, it's medium alcohol, like almost 8%, kind of dark amber kind of color to it, smooth. But what we did is we took it and we put it in these Cabernet Sauvignon barrels and aged it with some wild microbes. And it's kind of
how you pronounce that, because that's
Sauvignon.
Another thing. That's Sauvignon. Yeah. I used to get the wine on wine nights. I used to have a little.
You was fucking up the names.
And I was like,
I need the Cabernet Sauvignon.
Give me that Cabernet Savin.
Cabernet.
The Cabernet sacking him.
The Filet Mignon.
But I liked it because it was like dark.
Dark, dry.
And dry.
Yeah, definitely. Very flavorful. The beer itself, the base beer, has got a lot of stone fruit, kind of cherry and raisin character to it. And the microbes we chose kind of accentuate that. So you get a little more pop of cherry, a little more fruity, a little bit of
Pop of
funk,
cherry.
but not
No, what? I'm over here in my own zone. What you been thinking? It's like everybody, all I said was say what he said. Now everybody giggling, but it's on me. Fuck out of here.
We all thought it.
We all thought it. You was talking about mall parties and shit. There was a lot of Papa Cherry at the mall. Can we move on?
So
Maybe we should.
barrels and shit.
Yeah. Barrels and shit.
Episode 2 or 2. I'm sorry, man.
So yeah, let me. You want me to go ahead and pop this guy open?
Yeah. And then I guess tell us
A little background about you, so
Yeah.
we can.
This is a little complicated here. I'll get it.
All right, so.
Well, all right. I guess we'll play the. You know what I mean?
Boom, 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 boom.
It is I feel like we're starting off popping bottles. That's
Start with straight shots.
That's not a good sign for this podcast.
When you say
Typically-
medium, you said it's about 8%. So that's brewer's medium, because that's pretty strong for a regular person, like an average dude.
a brewer's beginner.
Like he said, I just wanted to make sure I heard it right. He said medium. I'm thinking he's gonna say 6 or 7, like 8, 9.
Hold on, let me go grab a motherfucking little bit of water so we can.
So now, what? Why bottle it in this way as opposed to, the typical like canning or whatever? Like, does that go into the style?
So yeah, we
Fancy
actually this bottle is very heavy duty. It's got a thicker wall to it.
Okay.
And we cage and cork it, which is like I was saying, it took me a little longer to open, but yeah, so we naturally carbonate it, and we want this thing to get to a much higher volume of carbonation. So these bottles can handle it. Normal bottles won't necessarily be able to handle that; they'll explode.
Okay.
So these bottles can handle it. We can lay them down for a long time. In some cases, the microbes will continue to ferment, so they'll actually continue to break down some excess sugars and whatnot, and further carbonate it. So
It tastes wild. I don't know how they describe what it. I don't say. Day does all of the beer critiques in the beer language. This does taste. It's good as fuck. It's just. I don't know what is that back end that I'm getting.
yeah, the Brettanomyces is one of the main microbes we have in here, and it doesn't produce a sour per se. It's got a little tiny bit of tartness,
Right.
but it's kind of I don't know how to explain it other than rustic. It kind of tastes kind of barnyard. It's got a little bit of like earthiness to it.
Okay. Yeah. No, I feel you. Like it was. That's how I was. I didn't know. I didn't want to call it sour because it's not sour.
Right.
But it has some of those characteristics. But really
Right,
good.
right.
So tell us about your beer background. Like, how'd you get into brewing?
Wild.
Yeah, so I was a home brewer for a long time. I think maybe a lot of the guys that you've had on here have the same backstory. I homebrewed for a really long time, many years. I started getting pretty serious about my professional background. I was an engineer in the nuclear industry, and sitting in a cubicle all day long just didn't really do it for me. I didn't get to use.
Beer is STEM, man, and people don't understand that. And like,
Absolutely.
When you're talking to the youths, you gotta like let them know like this is chemistry, biology,
It's
engineering,
definitely science.
Definitely,
science
definitely.
like a motherfucker.
If you're serious about it, it has to be equal parts STEM and equal parts art. I mean, so I was tired of the cubicle life, and after winning some homebrew awards and brewing most of my
soft flex.
yeah brewing my all of my extra money away, my wife kind of said, hey, what do you what's your plan here? You're obviously doing something you love, and you're doing something that you've got some skill at. What are you going? And I said, I don't know. I think I kind of want to open a brewery, and that's just kind of how it came about.
This theme keeps popping up. You know what I mean, like somebody in the science field, like, look, man, fuck this shit, and then like the significant other, like, yo, why don't you just go ahead and do that?
But you need those elements,
and then,
though.
Yeah, I mean, like, and then you're like, all right, well, fuck it, and then we're sitting here drinking fucking Sauvignon barrel aged fucking wilds.
He's really just trying to work on the pronunciation.
Yeah.
But no, I think that the technical mixed with the passion, mixed with the push, you kind of need all of those three elements to get to that point. I mean, you got to have that tech background in some degree, because we've seen it in various ways. Like we've seen chefs or people who cook look who go into it, or we've seen people, with the technical sciencey background, and then somebody always gets that final push, that final like, hey, go ahead. And from the significant other, I would imagine is very significant because I would imagine, you're in the nuclear field, obviously doing moderately well at least, and
splitting atoms and shit.
Yeah, and so you're doing at least moderately well
by the hour.
And so now it becomes, I think transitioning from that into it as opposed to like not having any money and trying to find money to do it, I think that might be more difficult. Like if you're in the nuclear field and you're doing that, and it's like, all right, I'm about to leave all this behind.
Yeah.
And
you get a level of comfort as
and
opposed
you're
to just-
married, and she's like,
that
she gives
lifestyle.
the okay, she gives the go ahead, and you're like, all right, I can jump in, and you can blame her, and that's cool. Like if it doesn't work, you can blame her. Like, look,
I blame her every
I was
day.
going to work every day. And then you want to come in here with all this brewery talk.
Follow your dreams. That can go sour though, because if that shit goes sour, that will go. Like, oh, well, you told me to follow my dreams. Now we're in a nightmare, Sally. So I mean, like, especially if you do.
Sally?
I just feel like Sally be fucking. Sally is just a very a scapegoat name. Like
Sally went out of style though, man. I ain't met a new
That's 'cause
Sally.
They was all terrible.
Yeah,
Like,
I ain't met. Well, now I got a great grandmother named Sally Walker.
oh well,
She was buffered by the Walker. She sharecropped, man. Come on, give it.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was a different time.
Yeah.
Might have got back that way.
I
yeah.
might, if I fuck around and have another daughter, I'm naming her Sally, just to
Sally?
fuck her up for life. Like you jumped in on me, so I'm gonna impede on your life, Sally.
Well, my grandma's name was Beatrice, so there's none of those running around. You know what I mean? Like just no.
Them names was nasty back.
Yeah,
in the day.
they were putting all of the like I don't even know where to
Beatrice.
just
I don't even mean to do that because that's your grandma. But that's a hard. Ooh, you can't even argue with a Beatrice.
My grandmother's name is Agnes. Agnes
Shit.
Faye.
Yo,
Damn.
I feel like she punched somebody in the jaw, like in the Adam's apple. Like she knuckle to the Adam's apple, very pointed. You know what I mean? Like Agnes don't fuck around.
Agneses are very opinionated. I don't even know if it's Agneses or Agnesi. The plural form of Agnes.
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 Okay.
Agnes. All them Agnes over there. We were talking about motivation.
Yeah, Agnes would never have given you the green light.
It's like, how much they paying you for the madams? You better fucking work them motherfuckers.
Now, excuse me, while you were home brewing, were you able to get your product out to people and you got some good response from close friends, family, et cetera? Or?
Yeah. I think we kind of followed the same path as a lot of guys. They kind of pretend to be a brewery for a while, and they do the brewery, the Brewfest circuit, Millville and Beers of the Berg and whatnot. But we kind of did the same thing for a couple of years, and really, really good response. And that was kind of the secondary push that got us going, But
Who are you pointing at?
I'm just looking at this. I want to see this bottle because this shit is fire.
Yeah, no, he was saying that because I asked him why you would bottle it in that particular bottle. He was saying the carbonation, I guess it holds it better. It doesn't explode.
yeah, it's heavier bottle, definitely.
It's fucking delicious.
Yeah, that's actually a Dom Perignon bottle. We ordered these from France.
Okay.
So
Oh shit.
yeah.
Oh, so y'all came in with sponsorship.
Yeah, well,
Y'all opened up with money, buddy. Y'all came to Dom Perignon
I
bottle.
said it's they popping bottles.
That's
at
a
the
stunt
beginning.
at the club bottle. I'm about to be in the club with it. We've been trying to get the craft over to the rap game. That's why we got Nappy Roots at Fresh Fest. We've been trying to slowly introduce the rap game to the craft game. Craft game like the rap game.
Yeah. I mean, I would pour this all over my Volkswagen, but not only is that not sexy, but I'd have to pay for it. So, baby, if you got a Lamborghini out there that you want to donate to the video shoot, we will definitely pour some Cellar Works St. Eldritch on that motherfucker. Like, make it an official rap video. I don't know, because this is rap videoable.
I think so.
Rap video. Okay, we can use that.
Perignon bottles? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah. So what goes into a decision of making that, like, yo, let's where do you, okay, so how long have you been in operation as Cellar Works?
officially open. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary on St. Patrick's Day.
So where do you now, as a new business, and even with Lynn and all that, you're right on that threshold of being established, because a lot of financiers look at a 2-year history.
Yeah.
Where do you decide to splurge with certain things? Like I'd imagine you had a non-Dom Perignon option for bottling. So where do you decide to take that splurge? Because that's important to me. Like even like just as a regular 9-to-5 guy, like you work for your money, you pay your bills. You've got to find a way to treat yourself. And I'd imagine your treatment is reinvestment into the business, but in a swag type of way sometimes.
Sure. Yeah. I think our packaging is really nice. I've really, I don't necessarily splurge. I mean, from the very beginning, it's always been the goal that the product should be, visually enticing, and so we kind of bought higher endish. I mean, they're the bottles that Dom Perignon uses. They're not outrageously expensive, but they're definitely higher end bottle. When it comes to the growlers, we picked higher end growlers for functional reason, So I mean, it seems like we splurged and maybe we did, but I think we did it. We never really, the decision was made early on, I should say. It was from the very beginning, from day one, our brand needs to look as good as it tastes.
So with the artwork for your bottles, because I'm looking at the 3 bottles, I'm looking at 3 of the bottles here, and I see 3 different styles as far as artwork. Do you use the same artist?
We do, yeah, actually, and that's done on purpose.
Okay.
The canned product is always what we kind of think of as more whimsical. I would never can a wild beer because I think it deserves a little more respect than that.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, this beer is over 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
you're not going to age a can. You're saying
you can. There are people who certainly do it.
You did there.
You are able to, but for me, our product in can is meant to be consumed early and fresh. This is a product that's meant to be, kind of either laid down or set in your cellar and kind of hang out for another year or two. It's going to continue to evolve.
More mature.
Yeah, definitely. And, so these bottles have a much more kind of serious branding about them. A little more clean, a little more, maybe wine industry-like. That makes sense, because I think they're a little more wine-like inherently. These cans, we want you to see what the beer is. All the details are here. You've got, kind of whimsical looking labels, nothing too serious. And then of course these guys are they're just growlers. So they're plain. Really what we want is we want people who are taking our growlers to other breweries to say, Cellar Works, fill my Cellar Works growler up,
Who's designing all this?
We have, a girl who I've been friends with for quite a long time. Her name is Nadine. She's a local of ours, regular customer, very talented. And she kind of takes exactly what I want and puts it on paper, and she's very good at what she does.
I mean, but you also got to like the style of art or whatever, because I like working with artists or whatever, and graphic designers and whatnot, like what you want in your head, and then having someone else like take that, so even that interpretation from them to them, and then their ability to put that onto paper, that's
put it on wax,
that's more difficult than people understand, and then having that conversation back and forth, saying okay, I don't like this, or I do, and then making it a combined effort. I mean, I guess had you worked with other artists in the past, or and I guess what were some of the hurdles, with that?
Well, I think maybe the easier transition is prior to working in a nuclear field, I was an architect. And so, we're very, very visual design people. So a lot of this stuff, I could probably do myself if I really wanted to, but you've got to free your bandwidth up wherever you can. And she's very talented. And so I think 2 visual designer type people are able to maybe kind of meet the middle a little better. She's got a thing for patterns, and if you notice our cans, the pattern is actually exactly the same. This one's a little tough because it's all blacked out, but there's this very neat geometric kind of pattern to it, and we just kind of plop on, an image.
Yeah,
really.
She finds a way to put her signature on there, and I think even for you with your situation, it almost seems like maybe it's a little less difficult because your direction for label is specific to the beer, whereas with others, I've seen like they have, you know, it's more like most of their cans are very similar. They have this little red thread through all of their designs, but the beers may be different. But now we got to figure out a way to stay consistent with the branding, whereas each beer is branded, you know what I mean? Like with the St. Eldrick, it looks this way. It looks like a real image, like she took a photograph and put something in the back of it.
It was a real image. She actually turned it into a watercolor.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
so she's showing off.
Yeah, she is. She is.
she
Well,
has a launching point.
If you can make it like on, you know, that, like, I mean, this is. I feel like there's even different paper on it. And,
It is,
like,
yeah. And if you notice, it's not exactly laying as flat as we'd like. So I mean, we're moving to a new
He's a
paper type.
perfectionist. He's
Yeah,
a
it's
perfectionist.
constantly, and it's always evolving. I mean, maybe you've seen Dancing Gnomes. I mean, they've gotten, they're at the apex as far as design is. And they're constantly evolving their cans and trying to.
It's almost like American Psycho with the business card. The motherfucker like plopped a label down on you, like he'd be like, "Ooh, you got the glossy." Like, I see you stepping your game up, bro. Like, I hate when a motherfucker pull out a fancier card. I'd be like,
Oh, I had a dude pull out a straight metal business card. I'm like, yo, you come on, fam. You're not going. I'm about to put your shit in my wallet like it's a credit card,
Bruh.
That looked like a real high esteem exclusive Capital One American Express / Discover hybrid
Look,
no
man,
limit card.
this motherfucker gave me, and I'm telling this story because like I still have it in my wallet. This motherfucker gave me a 3D card with the glasses.
Oh my god!
Oh shit!
With the glasses, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, bruh? Is that it?" Like, yo, like when you pull that out, I was like, you won. Because not only, like, he's like, just make sure you tell, but I was like, listen, bro, I'm going to keep this card. I keep everybody's card. It usually goes into the garbage. Like, at some point, I'll take a picture or whatever, but this, I'm just showing that, like, just to show motherfuckers, like.
And it gives you directions on the glasses.
On the glasses,
and
whole,
it's actually, like, important that you follow those directions.
Got a 3D card.
So he decided, you know what, I'm gonna splurge on the business cards. But I think one of the things I really like when we interview is to really look at the brewer's background and see how it affects their work. So like with you having that architectural as well as that nuclear background, it seems like you're very attentive to detail. You look at it in your bottles and you taste it in your beer. How difficult is it to be? Like, do you think that gives you I guess not difficult, but does it give you a leg up with your styles? Do you try to approach more difficult styles because of your, attention to detail? Or
Yeah, I think it can be a boon sometimes. I think that there's there are times when you're constantly trying to rein in a water profile or whatever, and it maybe throws you off, and you're 4 batches of this particular beer into it trying to refine it until you realize you've gone too far and it's time to kind of revert back to where it's good note taking. That's kind of where that comes into play. But beers that are very technical and difficult to make, I think are in some cases easier if you're paying attention to those those fine details. Beers like this. I mean, beers like this are maybe a little more art driven. You have a great base beer, and you can't just throw a garbage beer into a barrel and expect it to come out roses on the other side. Mm-hmm. You have to put a beer that already is near perfection or where you need it to be. And you have to know how to expect what the barrel's going to give it, what the microbes are going to give it. And I think that a beer like this is more of the art side of the brain. You're constantly tasting, and the barrel tells you when you're ready to blend it. And then it takes me and my palate blending the barrels, which is this is a blend of several barrels in various stages of fermentation or re-fermentation. It takes that palate to get to that final beer. This is exactly what I wanted it to be. And beers like the IPA or the porter, there's less. I think there's less chance to it. I think the barrels add this level of chance.
It's the guidelines. You're like, all right, I'm gonna do this thing and maybe take a quick, turn here and there. But something like this, you're talking about like live.
Yeah, the beer's alive for sure. And there's a lot of chance and risk. I think that you could taste a barrel a year or two down the road and dump it down the drain, and you've lost a lot of investment. But it's a chance you take on something like this because eventually it becomes something very beautiful.
Yeah, I was talking to Tim Russell. He was saying, like, I don't want to put something in a barrel and then 2 years later, like, it's like find out 2 years is shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I still don't think I would dump it. I'd find something to do with it. Pour it on cereal or something. You can't just let
vinegar.
that's a long investment, man.
Yeah, it is.
Man.
It is. It's part of the game, though. I mean, if you want to get into these kind of beers, it's part of the game. Man. I mean, brewing in general is. I mean, we've only had to dump two batches down the drain. But I mean,
But that's still a couple of grand.
It's more than a couple grand. It's a lot. But I've always been told by brewers who are far more who have been in the industry longer than I have, far more successful than I am, that you brew excellent beer by mercilessly dumping bad beer. And that's just, it goes down the drain.
Just cut it.
You play taps a little bit in your brain and just let it go.
Yeah.
That's the end of it.
That,
yep.
Is there a ritual to the dumpage?
I feel like
you open the drain, put the hose in, and open the valve. That's the ritual.
Okay.
You don't like take a swig.
You don't go all
you don't
black.
go down with
you
the
don't
shit.
become blacked out.
No.
Yeah, the St. Eldridge. She just hold about St. Eldridge. No. I can see the St. Eldridge with a black suit. You know what I mean? Just pouring the beer down the drain. Just
man, just let it flow, let it go.
take the rest of the day off. You gotta take some PTO that day. I had to let 2 years.
Oh man,
go.
there's no PTO in brewing.
Nah.
That's
Nah.
not at my level, at least.
So Brendan from over at East End was talking about like the art being in like like the malts and shit like that. Like like what are some of your like, I guess some of your favorite malts that you're using and shit? Like,
I use a lot of RAR. It's a Midwest malt. It's got a lot of protein. It's great. It's really good for brewing hazy beers or anything you want a really nice mouthfeel to. I think that it's good quality. It's consistent for the most part. For our German beers, the lager type cleaner beers, we use a lot of Weyermann malt, and for our Belgian beers, we use a lot of stuff from a company called Chateau. Legit malt, continental malt. It's expensive, very tasty. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. But yeah, I think a lot of two-row and pale malt. Very, very little caramel malts. We just don't use caramel malt a lot. It's kind of got a flavor. It doesn't really play well with me. So but yeah, we use high-end malts for sure.
I mean, with like the caramel malts, would you use those like in like a porter and stouts and shit like that?
Yeah,
like
yes. Porters and stouts, you're getting a lot more caramel malts, kind of build that sweetness up, a little bit of body. But like IPAs, lighter beers, we try to stay away from them. I think it just kind of takes away from the hops, which is what you're really trying to accentuate.
Yeah.
A beer like this, like St. Eldridge, we, the caramel malts are a continental malt. We're using things like Special B, which have like a very high raisin flavor to it when it's mashed. And so, trying to pick the right caramel malts for that kind of thing can be challenging. But
been getting a lot of raisin lately. Like I don't feel like when the first few years we did the cast, I don't feel like we mentioned raisin.
So
it feels
I think
like
we were just trying to taste the beer, so like the raisin profile wasn't even like, we weren't even on that level yet.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
so we leveled up.
Yeah, I think our palate
okay.
is like, we starting to get into like motherfuckers is bringing us like corked beer. Before they was like, look, motherfucker, this is what I had in my basement.
Yeah. The open Kool-Aid pitcher.
Like, listen, this is what I got. And we was happy to drink it. Now we getting these motherfucking raisin notes and the rose. We're talking about rose and shit. Because like like a 2-row and a 1-row. What's the difference between that? Like, I get what it looks like, but like, is there like a flavor or whatever?
Yeah, it can be a flavor. There's 2-row, 6-row malt. I think most pale malt, most base malt is made out of, and most malt in general is made out of a 2-row malt, 2-row barley. But a lot of it's diastatic power. The 2-row barley converts very easily, and it has enough diastatic power to take under modified malts and convert them if necessary. That 6-row is very rarely used except for old lager beer. I don't know many people who are using 6-row. I certainly don't. Maybe old world or early American pilsners, like pre-prohibition pilsners. That would make sense.
So what is your favorite style of beer, if you can identify one?
I like wild beer. I think that that's probably where I land the most. Sour beer, wild beer, something that's got some real art to it. Something that's got some time on it. That's usually that's what my cellar's full of. I've got a lots of wild beer. For my everyday drinking, something like a porter. I dig the porter. But
porter for that. I don't know if I like porters. I like porters and stout. I don't know if I'm an everyday porter stout guy.
No.
I think I'm still, but I'm on the more novice end of things. But I don't know. It's just funny, like listening to your story and listening to how everything falls into place. It all makes sense. Like when you really look at someone's background, like you liking the artsy, the wilds, and all that, having that very scientific background. Like I can see why that would be something that you would gravitate to with that. Porters on the everyday. I think I'm more of an IPA everyday guy.
Oh, I mean, in the wintertime, definitely stout. Typically that's the only time I'm really drinking on a daily like that.
Yeah.
That holiday season. I mean, like basically from Thanksgiving to like June up to like January 6th is just
very specific
a holiday.
date.
Yeah, they can get that first week back.
Very
Ain't, I mean, it's
specific
just gonna be a short week. You know what I mean, like ain't nobody. You got about one in, but yeah, no, usually in the wintertime on that, but still like in the summer when it gets hot, like once a week I want to, maybe end the night like with a little stout or something like that. It's nice. It's just the flavors. It's candy.
The stout has so much flavor to break down. So much to break down, and I don't know. I don't know that I'm always trying to do that when I'm drinking, like break down that level of, because it's almost like when you drink a stout, you got to really have time to appreciate what's going on.
Sure.
Like even when we started the cast, like I would just drink stouts and be like, all right, that was good. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, well, let me really try to break down because there's so much going on in a stout. There's so much like you're drinking and you're like, all right, this was good. And you're like, oh, wait, what's that? What just happened here?
You do realize that the motherfuckers that we're interviewing, we came in when like Brew Gents and all them was all opening up. So the motherfuckers that are coming in and bringing us this shit now, like they've grown. So like, we didn't taste that in the Brew Gentleman stout, 4 years ago because they wasn't 5. They wasn't 5 years old. Now we're like, that's what's kind of crazy. It's dope, like just growing up, and that's why, like, we're starting to hear more shit because we're starting to just talk to more brewers, and the scene is growing as well.
And they seem to be like talking to them like the technical like knowledge is crazy. Like it's grown so much. All the shit that go into it. Like, I'm always in awe when we talk to brewers now. Like, damn, bro, you got to have all these moving parts in your head. Like, you got to know all this. And you have multiple beers going at a time. Like, you got to know this is going here. This temp here, this here. Like, I got to do this for this long. Like, my brewery would be trash. My brewery would be so trash. You would
get one beer, and it would be a ghost beer.
Oh, it would be one beer.
I'd be paying somebody to come in and make that shit.
It'd be beer and pancakes for me. You gonna get a consistently good pancake.
It would be whatever 6-pack shop was open and on sale. That's what. So what's the next thing that we getting into here? And let me
pour it up. We got to get a sponsorship from Rihanna. So as the brewers pour the beer, we just pour it up. And he gonna have to fucking edit that out. But what do we have here?
Yeah, we have our coffee porter, AM Porter. This is, and I think I'm going to show you why I like porter so much. Not necessarily stouts as much as porter. Of course, I have to like everything, but I think porter is the good balance between a stout and maybe lighter English ale. I think it's got the flavor, but maybe not necessarily the body. I think sometimes porters are a little too heavy. It's got a lighter body. I think it's a little easier to drink. Yeah. And we used some coffee from our friends that were relatively local to us, East Birari Coffee. We cold brewed some coffee in the brew house and added it to the beer.
They sound like socialists.
Italian.
You can't label them. He got a relationship with them. You can't label them.
Socialists ain't a bad thing. I mean,
to some people, you never know.
Hey, shout out to all you motherfucking hardworking ass, sharing ass motherfuckers. I fucks with y'all.
Some people don't fuck with the
I fucks with y'all. Hey, I fucks with y'all. We all good.
Your description was extremely accurate. So yeah, with the porter, it does have the feel of a lighter beer and that back end of a stout type of thing. Yeah. Like you get that flavor. That what's that out of it?
I feel like with this. With the porter or whatever, like the mouthfeel or whatever, I feel like I get why the black lagers can sometimes be like they have the flavor of like it's almost mistaken for like a porter or whatever. Yeah.
Usually it's got a for me this has a I could taste that it's an ale because it's got maybe not quite the clean profile. It's a little not fruity, but it's got an ale profile to it, where like a Schwarzbier or some other dark lager. It's got that clean finish that this maybe doesn't. And now the coffee in this beer kind of fucks it up a little bit. But I think in general, a porter is going to finish a little fuller, maybe a little more fruity. By fruit, I just mean it's sweet and kind of like it's a generic, But like a black lager, it's got a lot of this kind of flavor characteristic, but it finishes so clean and so easy, and it's a lot easier to drink. So yeah, no, that's good shit.
Wow, growing every day.
You're growing every day, so.
Growing every day, yeah. Ain't too bad, man.
Well, I mean, growth. I guess we have to because the industry's growing. The caliber of guest is growing. The caliber of the knowledge, the information that we get. Like, I mean, just sitting here now, I'm like, shit. I'm like, why haven't I brought a notebook to the podcast?
That might help.
That would have helped
getting,
so
actually,
many,
writing shit down.
So many scores of
like
episodes ago. If we just had a notebook.
It ain't too late. We can do the next 200 episodes as like therapists. Yeah, we can actually use it as a couch. Have guests start laying down. Tell us about your brewing. Like
that almost seems intrusive.
Kid,
that seems intrusive. You're sitting there with a notebook taking notes, and then all of a sudden we pop up with a brewery.
Yeah, no, I ain't popping up in the motherfucking brewery. I hear all the stories, and I'm like, that does not sound like anything.
Nah. You gotta know too much.
Yeah, no,
you gotta know way too much.
Anybody that wants to start a brewery probably doesn't know what it takes to start a motherfucking brewery, man. That shit is. Well, I don't know. But you probably want to inspire the youth with the.
Yeah, well,
with the message, like, yeah.
I don't know if you want to inspire. Okay, hold on. With what message? You don't want to inspire the youth to brew.
Yeah, that's STEM. I'm telling you, it's science.
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, shit, it's hard work. Because, I mean, like you said, it's science and it's art. And as an artist, like you said, you're taking risk and, like, your, like, feelings are, like, attached to it. Mm-hmm. I mean, when people don't particularly like it or whatever, you know what I mean? And you can, it's you're putting, like, yourself out there. Whereas in business, it's just more or less, like, does it make money or not?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure. Profit, value.
Yeah, so like it's a different place to be as an artist that's also like in business. You know what I mean, that's got to be a weird juggle.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you have to, as a brewer, maybe not necessarily a brewery owner. I get to be both, and a janitor and custodian, whatever. I wear all the hats. But I think as a brewer, you have to just separate, disassociate those things because if you're going to be offended by what everyone says, Untapped is enough to put you in your grave, I think. I mean, they're brutal. But you got to trust your gut. And I think learn from people take advice from people who truly know what they're doing. I mean, but yeah, in my background at school, I was an architect. So I think that, being critiqued on a daily basis for designs that are coming out of my head and out of my hands, you just kind of learn to ignore it. You can't be personally attacked by it.
Yeah, that's gotta be kind.
Don't read the comments.
Yeah. Or read the comments, but understand where they're coming from. Yeah. I think that's
try
the
to
hard
extract the actual like the meat of the comments as opposed to the fluff where people just trying to say shit just to get a reaction. They had a
bad life, like man.
Yeah, Untapped could be a useful tool. Like you see a bunch of Untapped reviews from a particular account, and this is not from personal experience. I promise, all my accounts are great, but. If you see 10 reviews from the same account that's saying, tastes like, I don't know, tastes like it's skunked or tastes like it's stale or tastes like acidic and it's a stout, obviously there's something going on. So I mean, it's a useful tool.
Angry Bob.
Yeah.
It's a dude you let go? Well, dude, did you let go of the brewery? Yeah, look, bro, we're going to relieve you of your duties.
I hope not.
We found out it was you, Bob. Found out you're Angry Bob. So I wonder if there's ever been an employee that was just like mad at the being at the brewery. Just started.
I feel like that's the origin of all of these review sites. Some angry ex-employee. Because I've never in my life been somewhere and be like, yo, there needs to be a place where I need to tell people how I feel about this. No, that's what Twitter and all that. Y'all can tell anybody.
Yelp is what happens when you get beat. Like when you beat a dog, it yelps. So clearly a motherfucker got beat and was like, yelp. And that's what this website is. It's
Interesting origin story.
It's painful.
We were just talking about the work snitch. That's what it is. That's the ex-employee snitch. The ex, like, yo, I was just watching some show, and the episode was just about like an ex-employee. I think it was Chicago Fire, and the episode was about a dude who got kicked out of the whatever they called the firehouse and whatnot, and he just went around the city starting fires. The episode should have been titled Yelp. Like, that's all it is. Like, that's what it was. It's just like, yo, you kicked me off the team, so I'm just going to go somewhere and just start a bunch of fires. So you haven't dealt with any negative review, and kudos to that. I mean, no negative reviews here thus far, so... But I would imagine at some point somebody's going to be tight about something. And it could be, and I don't know, as a small business owner, it could be anything. It could be someone comes to your establishment and somebody got served before them. And so now they just have, their palate is tainted. So everything that they taste is going to be terrible. And I find that it's crazy because they'll still go back. Mm-hmm. Like people who have negative reviews, they'll go back. Mm-hmm. And so now it's clearly it's just hate. Because if I get a bad experience, then I just don't fuck with the place no more. Yeah. I don't take it as like I need to go let people know unless like they do something egregious. Like if they do something morally wrong, all right, then I'll let people know. But like if it's just like this wasn't my flavor, then
man, I was sitting with this.
Cool.
I was sitting with this older white woman at lunch.
Yeah, they reviewed that's the demographic for negative reviews.
Yeah, like I was sitting there or whatever, and like we got served the food, and like I looked, and I was like, I don't really fuck with this. Like she's like, you don't like that? I was like, she just saw me not eating it. She's like, oh, you don't like it? I was like, yeah, no, just send it back. I'm like, motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, this is a restaurant. I'm not like, I mean, when she was, and like she came over, she's like, he doesn't like this. Like, I mean,
there are people who, I mean, so your experience growing up, I think affects how you approach those sort of things. Like, cause I definitely am a take my L type of thing and find a way to win. Like, my whole thing is like, all right, look, I didn't like this. I spent X amount of dollars. I had a budget, so I'm going to go over here and grab this. I know I like it just to circumvent. But like there are people like, oh, I didn't like this. Oh, they owe me.
Yeah.
They owe me something I like.
Yeah.
Or it should be free. And,
I don't know.
There's a way in that.
Yeah, I mean, what's the beer model? Like, do people be sending shit back? Like, they drink half of it and be like, I don't like this, and can I get a refund?
That doesn't happen very often, if ever. A lot of people are, I think, habitual sippers. They're sipping. They'll sip every single beer for free. Mind you, we hand out free sips.
Habitual sippers.
No, they sample.
And they'll come back and they'll say, well, I would like that one. It's like, man, I got 12 beers on tap. You've already tried all of them twice. You know what? You just drank a gallon of beer. What am I supposed to do?
So do you limit? Is there a max sample?
I mean, we try not to. I mean, I think people get more upset about us setting limitations.
Isn't it weird though? Like I think people would be tight about that, but it makes business sense.
Yeah.
But it would only be applicable to the very minority who come to take advantage.
It is.
But you do gotta curb them people sometimes. 'Cause the minority who take advantage of shit, they come the most often though. That's the thing. Like people who know the rules and how to play the game, they play the fucking game.
Doubt. Yeah,
like they play it early, often, and they play it to the max.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they offer some kind of use of some. I mean, maybe jovial people or bringing folks around, or I mean, there's always some kind of like give it. If somebody is completely useless and a leech, then typically society will find a way to cut them out. That's what I've found for the most part.
Bro.
I mean, like
but they're going to be the most vocal. If you shut them off, they're going to be the most vocal.
Yeah,
so.
I mean,
That just sounded like death.
Well,
You saying that, all these dark bottles on the table, Game of Thrones finale just aired. I'm not in a good space.
I don't even want to get on my whole death rant and how that, is the beauty of life. But, I was gonna say, I feel like most people have some sort of, like useful, and even the folks that might like drink a few more, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, you're kind of, it's crazy. I don't even know. I've completely lost all train of thought with all of this booze. It's 2 of 2.
Yeah, no, it's 2 of 2. We trying to hold it together. So one question we say we're gonna ask every brewer we have on, we got to make sure we ask. So Cellar works seems like it makes sense, but if there is a backstory, we'd love to hear it. And the insignia here, the the emblem. Wow,
The fleur de lis, yeah.
Yeah, them Saints.
So you know, a lot of the beer that I was making as a home brewer was a beer to be cellared. So a lot of the wild beers, and because it takes so long, we have very few. You see that they're outnumbered here, you know. And so, you know, we were originally going to start out as a Belgian brewery and make primarily Belgian beers. You know, that was a bit of a practice and vanity, I think, because as soon as you go into business, you don't tell the customer what they want. They're going to tell you what they want. And, you know, you have to evolve with it. The second part of that is, you know, locally people call their basement cellar. And, you know, a lot of where we're keeping our beer was in
they're like a cellar.
Yeah, yeah.
The Pittsburgh basements are cellars.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was more of a local thing.
Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah,
No, in other cities, basements are finished.
Basements.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a finished basement?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they do that in other cities. They don't do it in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, they throw a toilet in.
I got a cellar.
They throw a toilet against cement.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely got a cellar, not a basement.
And the third, I think, for the insignias, my family, my namesake was French, and our coat of arms had a fleur de lis and whatnot, and it was just kind of a, I don't know, just kind of an ode to that. I think. Yeah, they were actually Huguenots who fled Switzerland during the Saint Bartholomew Day massacre.
Isn't that the shit from Small Soldiers?
I was gonna say Spaceballs. I was like,
Golden Knights. No disrespect on the family.
But no. And there's a kind of some beer folklore around the Huguenots that when they were coming from France, Belgium, whatnot, and traveling to German and German areas, they were bringing with them Belgian brewing techniques like lambic styles, and that's how the Berliner Weiss and Gozes were born. Again, it's folklore, and it's only, I think, mentioned a couple places.
It's got to be true to a certain, like, motherfuckers was bringing recipes. Like, it wasn't just bringing disease and death. Like, motherfuckers was niggas was getting lit on them boats. Like,
yeah, there was some parties on the way here.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, what else you gonna do?
Die.
I can think of a couple things.
Okay, I can think of one other thing. Listen, if I'm sailing from Europe to America, I can think of two things I'm gonna do. Well, three. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna drink. And then somebody coming up pregnant.
Move into the baby in a second.
Yo, imagine.
You can't, because if the boat get delayed, now you got like maybe
that
like
baby,
double the
that
passengers
baby
now. Yeah, I mean,
the life we live right now, that baby was coming to a disadvantage
there can't
situation
be,
regardless.
There can't be any sex on the boat until you're at least like 3 months away. Like, that got to be the rule. You know what I mean?
People were dying over here. You had to replace them.
What do you do?
You got to be throwing motherfuckers off. What did you just? Was that the?
You were just talking about that same thing about how people correct themselves and shit like that.
Was they throwing babies overboard?
Not babies, but
grown ass men,
deadbeat dads. That shit was handled totally
different. If a baby
differently
is born on a ship and it's, I mean, like, it's so you throw the father off or the baby.
If he not trying to claim it, you gotta throw the pops off. He gonna be a drain on society.
But if he claim it, then what? You throw the baby off? Like,
you keep the baby, but it's somebody that ain't pulling their weight. Not everybody's an A1.
So you gotta, like, when the baby's born, you gotta find like the deadbeatest motherfucker on it. Like, I mean, it's just like you're on a totem.
Not initially.
Like,
I mean, the baby's eating. He's suckling the teat. He's not a drain on resource.
If I'm lowest on the totem pole and I see a pregnant, I'm like, I mean, that's like incentive for me to be like,
fucked up. That you're taking on a European style of thinking. You're thinking like a European right now. The baby, talking about the all we got it. First of all, the baby that keeps the mom. She gonna be in a specified area because. We ain't got a lot of space.
So it's like
the baby gonna feed off of you.
So it's gonna be some Game of Thrones shit. Can you move up on the totem? You got 9 months. You at the bottom right now. You got 9 months to prove your worth. Yeah. To try to move up the scale, because once this baby comes,
the pop's got to take a step back and rank too, because he caused this.
So the
mama can't just take a step back herself. Pop's got to take a step back.
So he automatically loses a point just because he brought us in this situation. So
and then we could do Maury different. So if we do the Maury thing where that baby ain't got my nose. We take a vote, and if the baby got your nose,
Ooh, you gotta like
off
so
ye
everybody
go.
everybody comes over. You mirror the fathers down, and then everybody comes by. They look at the father, they look at the baby, they look at the father,
Yeah.
and they go and they cast a vote for who they think the baby is,
Right.
and then whoever's it is, you
off
got
ye
to
go. And that's got to be like, you got to make it a party when they do it though. You know what I'm saying? Like
You got to get him drunk.
yeah, you gotta
I
get it
mean,
drunk.
they got to be his
Everybody
last.
have a good time.
Yeah.
and
Yo, man. I mean, well, look, we'll take care of your son, bro. You know what I mean?
we got you.
Yeah.
We're gonna set up a trust fund for him.
You got to get him so fucked up, and he just pass out, and he just roll that motherfucker over. Like,
Ooh, would you? How would you throw somebody off the boat? Would you roll them off? Would you toss them?
I think you make him so drunk he wants to jump off. You could just convince him like it's a good idea, man.
Yeah.
I never been that drunk.
I don't know, man. I've been that drunk.
That's a different level of drunk. That's a different level of drunk. I was pretty fucked up at the silent disco. If we were on a boat, I would have definitely just gone to the cellar.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the beer's at.
Yeah.
That motherfucking 9-1, man. That shit is and it's a creeper too. We was drinking that last night.
Creeping like a creeper.
The BBC, man, and it was funny because my boy Chris, whatever, he was like, yeah, I was talking to him at the end of the night. I was like, yeah, that's a 9-1. He was like, 9. I thought it was like a 7. I was like, yeah, them two. They did a sneaky and they count. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean, like they, so shout out to East End BBC. I mean, for that. So what is next here on this? This
Did we
list
have the walk?
We got an IPA here. You want to do that first? We'll end with the stout.
Yes.
Shit. It's been a good Memorial Day. I mean, shout out to the troops.
Stop saying that, man. Wifey listens to the cast. I'm trying to go home and play it off like I was in the struggle like her. And I
feel like when you walk in with the whole ass like tray of
for them,
for the fam.
you have a
you're
backstory of how you.
Man, this has been a gruesome and long Sunday. If you've been listening
several
to
wolves for this.
So many carbs. I don't know if you know what carbs will do to the body, but man, so many carbs, so much dairy. If you're if you're intolerant of that, you know what I mean, like that's a tough life. And all of these, man, gluten. All this brews, all this gluten.
What is gluten?
For the sake of this conversation, it's bad. It has been. We've had a lot of it, and it's been terrible. So, thank you so much for making our terrible Sunday on this Memorial Day, man. This has been super dope. For what are we drinking right here, right now?
So this is Moon Cannon. This is
this moon look fucked up.
Moon
like
Cannon. Yeah,
you got hit with a bullet.
It's actually an image taken
Silver
from a
bullet.
French silent film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have probably seen it. But yeah, it's actually I'm really into sci-fi.
Okay.
And I like Jules Verne a lot. He wrote a story about shooting people to the moon, and this is just kind of a tribute to that, I guess. It's an IPA. It's about 6.2%.
Is that Jules? Is that War of the Worlds?
It was a short story by him.
Who's?
Oh, that's H.G. Wells.
H.G. Wells.
Yeah.
Who's
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember that. That was a movie that we had in the house that I didn't watch.
You should watch it. It's a good one.
I'll take your word for it, and I'm willing to do that.
Yeah.
I'm willing to take your word for that. I will never watch that. Plus, I don't know.
That's a good IPA.
It's a good IPA. Now that I will not take your word for. I will taste it myself, and it is a good IPA. But 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, I don't even swim, fam. I'm not going under the sea.
Wow. It's a terrible. No. What? Yeah, okay.
Why wouldn't I swim?
Yeah.
Why would I swim?
So you
You
know
jumped
how to
off the
swim.
boat.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's cool. You're right. I don't swim. I know how to swim.
It's a survival technique. It's not a sport.
Yeah, I'll do it, but I don't. Yeah, I feel you on that. All right, cool. I thought you was just like, I don't know how, because I'm like, come on, man. Anybody, it's just easy to kill you. You ain't never going on cruises. And
Oh,
shit?
they would
Like,
would throw me off of ye boat.
yeah, you the first. Like, oh, like,
Oh yeah.
get voted off early. Like, no rose for you.
Yeah, so it's a survival technique. It's a life skill you got to
Yeah.
have just in case. I don't know if you're on a Carnival cruise and that shit go under, you can survive long enough
For the sake of it, yeah.
Yeah, I can't swim well enough to save somebody else's life. Mm-mm.
I can. I've done it a little. I mean, I've had to.
You got
do
some
that,
military
whatever.
background.
I mean,
You know.
but like again, it's not a thing that I'm like, pick me. Like,
No.
If I'm
You're
on
not
the
gonna-
beach and I hear somebody scream, and after I look around and make sure
gotta
that I'm
do
the,
the- you gotta-
the only motherfucker in distance, then yeah.
I'm looking for the dude with that red Baywatch board thing. I don't
looking-
even know what that is.
I'm looking for the motherfucker like you, because like you look like you got a couple more cuts that'll just be like, able. I'll just be like, well, I mean, look, what is he doing over here? Like, what is like?
No, I'm not bashful about telling him. I'm not the nigga you want to send. It'd be 2 casualties. Because I got to really concentrate on my breaststroke. I got to really focus.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just look erratic.
So what kind of hops is in this motherfucker? Does it say it's like citrus, like a motherfucker?
Citra, Mosaic, a little bit of Eldorado.
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 Is that like is that American hop? Or is that some,
Actually, I don't know what the origin is, but
Eldorado?
it's delicious. Yeah.
Good IPA.
So how do y'all feel about like lactose, man? I keep hearing about this in the industry, like there's like the adjuncts and all the whole nine or whatever. And like, I'm gonna just start this
We
out.
was talking to Matt about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just start this out by saying I love me some motherfucking lactose. I love milky beers. Thank you, brewers and cows.
I love stouts.
I fucks with y'all both equally, and you know what I mean. But I hear like there's all this like guidelines and styles and like there's all So like, what's the deal? What's the deal with adjuncts and shit?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys are just trying to mimic what they've heard a lot of New England breweries doing. For me personally, I'm I don't know, I guess kind of sensitive to lactose. In really high quantities, it tastes kind of bizarre to me. And so I can tell when anyone's using more than 10% lactose in their beer, typically, because it's
Oh shit! Wait,
it's just-
10% of the entire
yeah.
beer is lactose?
Is that
Well,
is that
10% of the sugars. It's non-fermentable, so it hangs around.
Oh, 10% of the
is that
sugars.
typical, or is that like you going to the extreme when you over 10%?
I mean, there are guys using a lot more than that. For me, I try not to go above 10%. It just, it tastes a little bizarre to me, especially in IPAs, a little lighter IPAs. It just comes through as kind of cloying and a little weird. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the
cooling,
cloying.
cloying.
Yeah, it's just a bizarre sweet flavor. Just kind of don't really care for it. It kind of lingers around on the tongue. But like this particular beer, I really in our IPAs, we try to make them soft, but not those like kind of chunky New England beers. You get the ones that are, they're very oaty and slick, and they've got a really, really full mouthfeel to them. We don't really make beers like that. I prefer a little lighter, kind of pillowy, kind of just disappears off your palate. So we try to get our softness through some adjunct, very light adjunct, some oat, wheat, but also a lot of
I like all the shit.
it's delicious. Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like oat and wheat? It's like I feel like we're like 20% oat and wheat. Like,
I tell you, one of the best things in the brewery on a heavy stout day, take a bowl of raw oats or rolled oats, and the first runnings out of the mash tun of your stout, it's like chocolate syrup. Just mix it all together.
what?
It's crazy good.
Well, that's how you party.
Oats and stout?
Yeah, I'm just by myself.
That's
just
how you party. That's how you get
chilling,
down.
eating oats. I mean,
That's how you get through the workday. You gotta have everybody, and that's what we should start asking that more. Like, how do you get through the day? Because
Yeah.
like we know, all right. So everybody ain't just drinking the product to get through. Like everybody got their own personal thing that they do that they look forward to in the process. That's that deviates from the process as far as like getting it done, but just kind of gets you through. Because even in your workday, your 9 to 5, there's something that you do. Most people, they just surf the internet, and do shopping. But there's something that you do at your job that gets you through the end of the day that's not related. Like, I'm sure you're not supposed to be taking that stuff and eating it, but
Man,
why
the
not?
fucking granola stout, like that's like stout granola. You know what I mean, it's just that sounds like the fuck. Like, why isn't that a product that's offered to the mass public? Like, who did you tell that story to? And they were like, oh well, keep it to yourself. Like,
I don't know.
like, that is like what?
I don't know if he keep. I think that the brewers might do that.
That might
often.
that's just like a little.
I'm not the only one.
He might have just spilled the
so
beans.
that's just like a
We might have got an inside shit. It might be.
They ain't even trying to let that
That's only for the privilege.
I like to heat my tortillas up on the kettle too. That's probably
That's a strange, random.
well, the kettle's real warm.
you ain't gotta explain.
Yeah.
That's what you like to
Toss
do.
it on it.
Yeah, it's just,
Make some-
might as
some
well use
tacos.
the heat. It's free.
Yeah,
You know what
right.
I mean, if shit,
It ain't
you
free,
Well, it ain't
well,
free. You
yes.
paying for it.
Lost
But
energy.
You might as well. Yeah, exactly. You might as well like reuse, reduce, recycle.
Yeah.
Now,
Planet
I don't
out
know
this
how many
motherfucker. That's what
brewers
you
we
be.
gonna find that do
You
that.
should name your next kettle Captain Planet because I definitely reduced, reused, and recycled while making this beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how I really felt about Captain Planet.
Oh, this motherfucker. I'm so sick of him dropping this weird shit on me, man.
What's
Like
weird
200
about it?
It's Captain Planet. What was like? Who didn't like Captain Planet? Come on, what the fuck was it about Captain Planet that you didn't like, man?
That you could destroy him with the earth?
No,
could
you
throw
couldn't.
mud on him and he would just lay there disabled.
No. Mud. No, it had to be like garbage, like toxic shit. It had to be like
I need you to fight through that, fam. We got some real shit going. And you can throw some oil on your chest.
I think that show deserves more respect than what it gets. I mean, that was at the time probably one of the most diverse cartoons out there.
No, Doug is the most diverse
Doug?
cartoon ever.
They
had a purple woman.
Don't particularly enjoy agreeing with this motherfucker. Doug was a
Doug
very
was
diverse
come on,
show.
man.
Yes.
Doug was
Yeah.
the now.
Yeah.
I will say this: there was more diversity in the heroes and heroines in that because they, But then Power Rangers tried to duplicate that. They tried to have, they do the black dude, they had the white dude, they had the Asian girl. I mean, they had the nerdy white guy. Like they
Everybody do they were doing the rainbow thing.
Yeah, they was trying to
They
do
were
it,
like,
but-
yeah, how about we just get a salad together and put them in, and like kids will love it.
Only thing I like about Captain Planet was Earth.
Yeah. That was the first time we saw like an African motherfucker on TV, like every weekday and shit. That was the first, because before that, it was just in Roots. Yeah, I mean, we'd see that once a year for a week, and it was just no other cartoon, African cartoon characters. So it was like, oh shit, that was a mommy. And I mean,
Very ethnic,
and he did listen, they spread the word of recycling and shit. They made it we're like, oh
that
shit,
was definitely
I learned a lot about whatever. I still don't know what exactly goes into the blue bin. I'm still trying to figure that shit out. But at least I know the blue bin is a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of gotta thank Captain Planet a little bit for that.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, how heroic are you? If I could take a trash can and
Listen,
pour it on
if-
your
in
head,
the- if
and
we
now
talk-
you're disabled,
if we talk-
I just poured a trash can on your head.
If we talking all Madden teams, Captain Planet ain't.
He's the B team, practice squad.
He ain't make no Pro Bowls, but I mean he ain't a bad back. He like the Charlie Batch. He just if I need it,
Yeah, man.
if I need you to light this fire, the logs are wet.
Then you get to fire, wind, water, heart, planet. Your powers combined. Get your bitch ass.
Was heart LSD?
I don't know
what
what-
ring. All it did was make you feel good. That was ecstasy.
Yo, that was word.
Bruh.
Word.
Heart was. What do you mean?
Toxic
It was
as fuck.
Hey, what was this? The dude saying, "Hey, yo, come give me a little bit of that heart, bro."
But think about just you just get a group of villains together with trash cans and they just standing on the front lines come on, planet, just tossing trash cans at this dude.
That's all you
Trash
had.
cans and banana peels, just fucking Captain Planet up. He's just laying there fucked up. He's just taking old scrap paper and busting him in the head and spitballs and just
You
dumb
just set
shit.
your base up in the motherfucking landfill and you were good.
With Gucci. That was like a school program that made it big. That's what Captain Planet was like. It was supposed to be some like auditorium like presentation, and they were like, you know what? We need to spread this to the masses.
We just make some toys out of this
Oh
motherfucker.
man, I ain't seen a Captain Planet toy in my life. He ain't had no merch. He ain't got no book bags, socks, nothing. No lunch pails. I ain't seen a Captain Planet. Nothing.
I never saw anybody with T-shirts. Or
Nothing.
Nobody repped Captain Planet. Everybody was watching that shit, but nobody.
Why is there no Captain Planet lunchbox?
No one wanted to admit it.
I don't think anybody even talked to
that shit
each
wouldn't
other.
sell.
That shit was trash.
I don't think I ever went to like school and was like, hey y'all catch that last Captain Planet? Like,
Hell
I just,
no. Hell no. I don't even remember who the villains were. The villains was just regular people who littered. He's just running down on civilians. Hey, fam, pick that shit up. He's like, hit him with the litter. We gotta find him.
Hit him with a can of beer. They'd be like, the can is full. They'd be like, quick, open it. Now take it. You took a sip. I don't want this shirt anymore. Throw it at him.
Sorry, we gonna lose. All right, if there are any Captain Planet enthusiasts out here that listen to the cast, find a better hero.
It's all right.
Not
man.
the hero you
Reduce,
deserve.
reuse, recycle. All right, what are we getting to the next?
Yeah, we got a stout. That's what I'm excited.
Yeah, we
A little bit of stomach left. A little bit for the stout.
so we have a series. It's kind of like a scratch series. It's just R&D. We kind of make whatever an adjustment to a beer that's we don't really want to make a major adjustment to,
Right.
or a beer style that we don't normally brew on the regular, or something new we just want to try. We make it part of our Alpha Revision series. So this was the first Imperial Stout we made, and I'm working on developing a base for kind of like an adjunct stout to add, whatever, vanilla and coffee and espresso and all these other things, And I think we actually did pretty good this first round. I'm pretty happy with this. This is a 10.5% stout. It is a thick, chewy stout.
That was a hell of a pop. We bottle popping. We bottle popping. He put you put a tissue there. I'm Captain Planet. I put a glass there to save that. So now is this a tinkering of an existing, or is this brand new?
So this is actually it's a beer that I've been brewing for a long time, but just haven't brewed on the professional scale. So it's something I've been tinkering with for probably the last 8 years or so, and just finally scaled it up. It's just a big imperial stout. We make it. We roast it in-house cacao nibs. Give it a little more of
Cacao.
Cocoa nibs.
Yeah, see.
I'm gonna go with his pronunciation because
Yeah.
he seemed like he's more
Cacao.
informed. Cacao. He got the
Cacao.
Wu-Tang nibs.
Yeah.
He got the Wu-Tang nibs. Cacao.
and lots of vanilla. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Does not leave anything to be desired. This is really good. Yo, we've been killing the stout game on the sample side. We've been killing that shit lately.
Man, these brewers been killing it. I'm so glad that you have come over to the side of the stouts, man. This is dope.
These shits are good. Like you know, it's just so much nuance in the stout. It's just like you taste it in stages, but you only take one sip. Mm-hmm. Like it's just like, all right, I feel it here and I feel it here, and then all of a sudden some aromas start coming out your nose. What the fuck is this draft?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite thing about like stouts. Even like like sours, you know what I mean? Like how like you'll get it and it'll hit you in the back and you'll get that, that tingle or whatever. And then as it sits, it just keeps opening it up and giving you more. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. I mean, that's why like that's why these beers are the beers. I mean, like you don't crack open a Budweiser and like put it on your palate and just like wait for it to open up. Like that's not.
Yeah.
No, you crack a Bud out of depression. That's straight depression. That's I'm about to have a whole night of beer. Like I'm not just having one or two Budweisers. I'm having a case.
Yeah, I'm Yeah.
But this is like, so I feel like the way I feel about stouts is how people feel about chocolate, like where they feel they taste the different types and all that of chocolate. Like, this is my chocolate, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't, outside of milk chocolate, I don't really care for white chocolate's cool, but like milk chocolate, boom. But like the stouts, it's like candy, but it's like boom, 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 and you just let it flow through, and it's hit your whole back end, and next thing you know, it's coming out your nose. Like, you're like, let me take another sip and find something different.
I like all that shit, like the chocolate, the coffee, like leather and shit. Like, I mean, leather is a weird thing to say that you enjoy the taste of.
That is weird.
That is a flavor that oftentimes comes through some shit. Like, that's just kind of, I don't know what that, like, I mean, it is cow skin, so, you know what I mean? Like, maybe, you know, that's where it's at. But,
I'm not with you on that, but I see where you're going with it. I'm not going to get on board, but my man's can with his cacao.
This shit is delicious.
Look, in your brewery, just play just on just soft in the background. It'll set a mood, man. It'll be a whole vibe in your shit.
So, how long like has this been brewing and sitting?
How old is that beer? Probably. Yeah, a couple months now. Yeah, it's since it's 10.5% and it's smooth. I mean, you can't really taste the alcohol.
Right, it don't taste like it.
I think that you know, it is. We sell smaller portions just to be responsible, you know. And
thank you.
Yeah,
I was at an establishment the other day and fuckers poured me a fucking a 13 ounce like 12% beer. I was like, I didn't.
Yeah, they don't want you to come back.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I was poured a 20 ounce special pour of a 13.5% beer once, and it was actually kind of offensive. Like, what are you trying to tell me?
It's like when somebody like locks you in the closet with a pack of cigarettes and makes you smoke all of them. I mean, like you loved it until
when does that
then.
happen?
I mean,
when did that happen?
Whenever
Tell us about
that
it.
was a, you know.
Let me know about that.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know, I'm getting into some shit, but yeah, no, that's
because we're gonna unlock some shit with you. All right,
Yeah.
so we know something new. So you've been locked in the closet. Was it Newports? Was it Misty Slims? What did they lock in? Did Marlboros? Oh, that's disrespectful. Motherfucker, lock you in with some Marlboros. Damn, not even the 100 lights box of soft pack.
Yeah, no, man, that would suck. I did have to eat a can of pork at one point.
Just pork, not
Just
even
pork.
Just not even.
Mom was like, "You opened it, you gonna have to eat that shit." I was like,
Mamas always do that to you. Mamas be torturing it. I was just talking to actually Mike James. I was dropping about at the airport about how like he don't eat broccoli because his dad used to force him to eat broccoli. I don't eat peas because I have this gag reflex to peas. And my aunt one time, she didn't get the memo. So she made me this big plate of like rice, chicken, and peas. And I'm like, yeah, I don't do those. And she's like, yeah, you do. I'm like, nah, for real, I don't do those. And she's like, well, you will today. And I had to sit through this mound of peas. And, you know, we never recovered from that in our relationship.
See, my mom used to like, whenever she would try to like, man, you got to finish all your shit or whatever, like, it was always a vent somewhere. You know what I mean? So like, whenever she wasn't paying attention, I just throw the food in the fucking vent. I'm like, I'm done. And then like, you know what I mean? And then like whenever she wasn't, you know, looking or whatever, I'd come back and get it out there or whatever, you know what I mean? Clean it up and like, you know, it was all good. But it only worked like, you know, when it was hot out. You know what I mean? Because if it was, you know, if it's wintertime, like, you know what I mean? It's just ain't, you know what I mean? So that was winters
clever.
were a little tough.
I respect you on that. That was clever because I used to do the thing where you take the plate and flip it over as if my mom's wasn't hip. I tried to do that to the liver and onions. No, she never let it ride.
If you put every parent knows the flip.
Yeah,
I mean?
well, when you 7, you don't know that every parent knows everything. So yeah, you go try to flip.
Yeah,
because she was upstairs. I think she was giving my sister a bath or something. And I came up, ran up like, I'm done, and she was like, you ate all that? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, and went downstairs, and I was like, oh, shit. And she put it. I thought she had put it back on the table, like I had to eat it out the trash. She had put another liver and onions on. I had to eat, and I was like, you make me eat out the trash. Hey, your trash. I'm like,
she was upstairs. Why didn't you just flip it in the trash?
I did,
Oh, you
but I
did?
had to go
She put it on a
report.
flip, and then she would come down and
I had
check.
to go
gotcha.
What you're
report that I
supposed
had
to do,
finished.
Gotcha.
what you're supposed to do is bury that motherfucker,
Yeah.
and then put like another. Yeah, I mean, like so you
7,
gotta be, man. You gotta like
7, man.
Shit,
I was a
man.
good kid. I didn't
where you
have
went
all
wrong.
the criminal in me, man.
That's where you went
And
wrong.
when you try to go criminal and that ain't you internally, man,
Yeah,
you ain't
no,
good
it
at
is.
it.
Yeah,
I think
well,
a little
you-
bit
you-
of the
you get
liver
caught.
onion sauce was running off the side and shit.
Yeah.
It was just too obvious now I think about it. I don't even think it was a paper plate. I think it was like one of our actual plates.
Ooh, shit.
And I just threw it away.
That's a dead giveaway, man.
You don't know what you don't know, man. I just threw the whole ass china away. Fuck.
You learned a lesson that day.
Yeah, well, you get an ass whooping and have to finish it off with liver. That's
Yep.
You just gonna eat that shit the first time moving forward. I don't say no to anything except peas. Peas I can't eat.
No, I ain't even.
I can't eat not standalone peas. So peas can be in stew.
Oh,
They can be in
good
Chinese
casserole or
food.
something.
They can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
in something.
But just standalone.
Standalone
I mean, but who's
peas.
really making standalone peas these days?
Well, when you have small children in the house,
Well, yeah, but I mean, they gotta take their lumps, literally. I mean,
But they like them
consider
shits.
like, yeah, because they don't know any better. You know
No,
what I mean?
they
don't-
just like
we
them.
only don't like shit because we know better. You know
No,
what
they
I mean?
just like
if you,
them
If we
shits.
were
I
only
can't-
if we were only raised on like fucking chicken, like boiled chicken and like carrots. Then that's all we would know, and we would just eat that shit, and we'd be happy. Like if you put a little grain of pepper on that bitch, you'd be like,
we
"Oh
would,
shit!" Like, we
I
only
think
know
that's how
better because
seasoning
we've had
came
it
to
better.
be, though. Is that not how seasoning came
Seasoning
to be?
came to be because some
There's a
motherfucker
boiled chicken, and
a
it was like,
motherfucker-
there's more.
No, a motherfucker dropped the
Give me
chicken
something.
into like some plants and shit, and they were like, "Yo, I'm hungry as fuck," but that shit's dirty, and they were like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna eat it anyway." And they ate that shit, and they're like, "Oh shit, this is." Wait, that dirt might be like all right, and they found out the dirt was actually just dried up leaves and shit, and like that's what it was. Like, I mean, it's all
Well,
an
thank you
accident.
to that person.
That
Thank
clumsy
you for
ass
dropping your
motherfucker.
shit. Yeah, thank you.
We
Sometimes
go on-
clumsiness can.
We go on tangents. We apologize.
That's all right. I mean, I grew up in a house without spices, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
rough.
you kind of look like the type.
That's
okay. That's okay. That's why I'm bringing it up. That's why I'm bringing it up.
That's why I was like, I ain't want to bring you in.
That's cool, man.
You know what I mean? But
Hey, I'm with you.
I'm glad it's out there.
Yeah. Now, I'm aware, man. I'm aware.
If it makes you feel better, I do love fried chicken, so we even. You know what I mean?
I do
Everybody
too.
loves
I do
chicken.
too.
Yeah.
Everybody loves chicken.
Especially
They do
with
love
sauce
fried chicken.
seasoning
Everybody.
on it.
I don't think. I mean,
Yeah.
even vegetarians love chicken.
No, they do love that shit. They love
that
chicken
shit.
and bacon.
They just
You know what I
don't
mean?
like the story behind it.
Bacon is the thing that everybody motherfucking hates, like loves, man. I mean, like
It's just
vegetarians and fucking meat eaters, like non-pork eaters. I mean, like everybody wants a little bit of bacon. I mean, that's why God made it illegal because He was like, that was the one motherfucking meat that might have a little competition. You know what I mean, you talking about love and affection? I mean, who do you love more than bacon? You don't love beef because you wrapping beef and bacon. You don't love chicken. You wrapping chicken and bacon. What are you talking about? Them vegetables and shit? You wrapping that shit in bacon too? What ain't bacon making better?
I might have to. Okay.
What is bacon not making better?
Cereal.
You don't even know. They about to
Ice
come out with a
cream.
little bacon bits, little like the bacon bits French toast, like crunch and shit. Motherfuckers might get on that.
You know what?
Real bits of
Shit.
bacon. You know what I mean? I
You
don't
might
know,
have stumped
man.
me on that. Yeah, I'll definitely throw bacon bits on a salad in a heartbeat.
Shit, if it becomes edible,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
well,
This shit
I
goes
like
from
salad.
I mean, I like salad in the sense that it's 90% meat and ranch or some shit, and then like there's lettuce underneath that. Like, I mean,
All right, that's not salad.
that's an open face.
It's a garnish.
Yeah, that's a bunless burger. Somebody tried to sell me that shit. You want a bunless hamburger? I was like, you want a meat patty?
Bunless.
Yeah, like
Bunless hamburger.
that's because meat. If you looked on a menu and it said meat patty, would you order it?
That's a chopped steak, right?
But-
yeah, that's a chopped steak. Yeah. I mean, it's all marketing, man. I want to open up a venue with vegan fries. You know what I mean? Make sure that everybody knows it's fried chicken and vegan fries.
Yep.
You know what I mean? All that is just fries in fucking vegetable oil. And I don't know if outside of duck fat, they're all vegan fries. You know what I mean? But you got to let people know, what you getting into. do you like the whole meat with your hands? Well, we got a meatless patty for you. I mean, like there's a demographic for that. There's like a Viking paleo motherfucking demographic for that. Motherfuckers like, oh, meatless patty, I could take it. Like,
I mean, you could swag anything. Like fucking, I went to P.F. Chang's and had lettuce wraps. Them shits is good as fuck.
Yeah.
Lettuce wraps. It's something missing on them shits, but they're good as hell.
There's little crispy things though. You get the crispy things?
Nah, I just had to. I was with the name. I'm not even gonna name drop. I was with a headliner. We were working at the Improv, and she loves lettuce wraps, and I just tried it, and I was like, oh, these are really good. I don't really like lettuce a lot.
But as a barrier between your hand and whatever else that you want to actually eat, because you gotta have lettuce. You're not like eating it like, oh yeah, fuck this. I mean, the texture is decent. Yeah, I mean,
you gotta have good lettuce.
Yeah, it's gotta be
that hood lettuce from the Save a Lot. That ain't gonna get you a lettuce wrap. That shit all broken and that shit
too brittle,
malnourished. And you gotta have that good leaf, a real leaf of lettuce that you can wrap.
You're probably throwing you're putting all that extra into whatever like little like minced shit or whatever, but like the actual wrap in that bitch got to be like the prime lettuce, like the green on.
They get the grade A lettuce, so they're the Cellar works of lettuce, the lettuce wraps. They go for the premium, and I respect the branding. Like how y'all doing it. First of all, I love all black everything, like a lot of black shit. Like, but it seems like a higher end of craft, like a more you're putting more into the product, and I'm with that. I'm totally with that. Like, yo. Shit, the stout is really, everything we had was really good. I love the nuance in the branding and how it's specific to the actual beer. Like, I really like the model you have, the knowledge you have behind it, the art behind it. But, like, it's very reflective of your background. That's really dope.
That's good to hear.
That's really dope. So,
where is your brewery?
We don't know where Sarver is.
Yeah, it's in Sarver, PA. It's the Great White North. It's up 28, past the Pittsburgh Mills.
Oh,
it's where Arya Stark went.
Past like New Kent and all that.
Yeah,
I mean,
Arya Stark is out there.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's what she said. Like, you guys are
working with Hubs, yeah. No, that's Leaning Cast.
That's Leaning Cast.
No, that's no, Belma.
Yeah, they got Lex. Lex Bubble. Lex Bubble ain't never been the Sarver. I'll tell you.
No.
Or Lex Belma. It's gonna be crazy, man.
He's got some pretty good ideas,
right? Because you were at the show, you said. So he's
got some good ideas. We're gonna do something that's a little out of our wheelhouse. So
yeah,
he trying to throw the Haitian in there.
No.
Okay.
No.
I was kind of looking forward to him throwing that.
No, he said he's a big fan of Bumbleberry, right? Yeah, Bumbleberry.
I don't even know.
That sounds like some shit Norlex would say.
Yeah,
he
likes the blueberry.
Bumbleberry.
He said peaches and blueberries.
Because Norlex, he from Brooklyn, but then he was playing all types of instruments and flutes and shit. Went to CMU. He been exposed.
Yeah. His parents got degrees.
Ain't nobody got no bumbleberries in fucking Brooklyn. Hell, you taste the bumblebee.
You think making honey pies was good? Word. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like, I'm sure it's gonna be dope as hell.
No, I like having the brand now, knowing Norlex. I know that's gonna be top notch.
Yeah, we're very excited.
He'll have a joke behind it too. So you guys will not only have a good beer, but you'll have a cameo at Caroline's with a joke or something. Because he's gonna
at the booth at the.
He's gonna put you in a set.
Yeah, that's gonna be the comedy booth over there.
I'll be over there slanging some jokes. All right, so. Let the people know where they can find you. Let them know how to get to Sarver for those who don't know, because I don't.
Yeah, you just got to head up 28 North, exit 17. It's the Freeport Butler exit.
You're out there by River Forest, the country club.
No.
This motherfucker said country club. 214 episodes, and this is the first time I know he motherfucking about country clubs and shit. See,
it's black owned. You ain't. That's like big news.
I don't know.
Yeah. We actually are on the docket to do a show there. I got offered a show because I did a show there. Right?
Where's that at?
It's actually in Freeport.
Really?
It's in Freeport. Yeah. So it was existing. And I think they just restructured ownership.
That's a nice spot. It used to be the Phoenix. Yeah, I know where it's at. Yeah, I know exactly where it's at. I wasn't sure what happened to it. All right on. Yeah, we're just down the road from those guys.
Yeah, see,
that's
all right. Bong.
Right
Full
on.
circle, cyclical.
Party
Right on.
man.
Yeah, we're I don't know if any of your listeners know where Lernerville Speedway is. It's a dirt track out in the middle of the sticks. It's we're about a mile from there. So, yeah.
That's very specific to those who know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. That's he was about to jump in. Fucking 214 episodes. You just read each other. Anything personal, social media, or anything like that you want to promote?
Yeah, I mean, cellarworksbrewing.com. All of our beer list is up to date. If you're looking for anything as far as what's happening, definitely our Facebook at Cellarworks Brewing. That's Twitter and Instagram. So it's pretty up to date. She's actually the one who runs it. So some pretty good stuff. Great photography. She's our photographer. So good shit.
Introduce yourself. Yeah, go ahead. All right.
She's been here the whole time, which is being out of.
Bashful. Trying to act all bashful. All them tattoos, you ain't bashful.
No,
she's not.
She's the reason we're even having this podcast.
Yeah, she is.
Remember the hitchhiker, and we were that was very. I mean, so that's a whole nother. But thank you so much for making this happen. You're very good at your job.
Yes, she is.
Shout out to women of the industry, man. Keeping the thing going.
Yes, sir. Now let the people know where they can find us, Day, so we can get back to our family.
Shit, man. If you looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. You can also find Cellar Works, Norlex, Belma, and the gang at FreshFestBeerFest.com, August 10th, Nova Place, Pittsburgh, PA.
Yes, y'all, and the Fresh Fest.
All right, so we want to thank John Lasher and Kristen for coming through with the brew. We really enjoyed this. We enjoyed your knowledge, man. Like I said before, like it's really, I don't know. This is one of the casts where when I look back on it, I've really been able to identify a reflection of ownership in the beer, like specifically to the mission, the type of beer, the styles, the imagery, all that. So it's really good. If you could get out to Sarver, get out there, try some of it. You can catch them at Fresh Fest. It's great brew. You know what I mean? We ain't just saying that. We slithered off 2 or 2, but we still felt that. So as always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family, and we out here. No more casting today. But no more NBA. I got used to looking forward to going home and watching a game. Nobody. Raptors won last night, so final score.
I'm proud of my liver. Man.
You guys kept it together well for the first. There was liquor on the table. That's where it gets.
No, I kept
But we didn't after we took the one shot.
that's all right, let's get it.
And we were eating food.
Epicast.